We're having all kinds of technical difficulties here on Therapyrange. To the one person that was standing by waiting for the video to start, my apologies, sir. Hope y'all doing good this week. Sucks that we had those technical issues, but it is what it is. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Shure-Shot Shooting Supply. Big shout out to those guys. Thank you. We got our package. We're going to be opening that up here in just a minute. Straight Shooter Coffee. Thank you, brother. Got your package. We'll be making a video with your stuff here very soon. We really do appreciate the patronage and the support from some of our local businesses and national businesses. Thank you guys a lot. It's mucho appreciated. I want to ask everybody, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video, please take a second and go over and check out the Free Men Report. Free Men Report here on YouTube. It's a couple of guys that are very honorable and very loyal to our country. They understand freedom and liberty to a painful level. They really are. They're putting themselves out there for the public and for you to have more information. And they do a lot of the research because I know, most people in the movement knows that the average Joe just don't have time to take and spend all the time reading and filtering through all the BS on the internet anymore to find the information that you're actually looking for. And then even if you find something, how do you even know what the relevance of truth is to it? New moral patch. We just released this today. Actually, it's not even fully released yet. It's not even on the website just yet. It'll be on the website here once I get off the live stream. Freedom Convoy 2022 American Edition. Many of you, hold on here, I got them right here. Come here, patches. Those are the American ones. Well, anyway, most of you that watch and follow along seen that I did one for the Canadian Trucker Convoy. Here's the one for the American Trucker Convoy. These will be available about 1 a.m. on patriotshit.com. That's my retail website. All the business that goes there is mucho appreciated, and it helps me to be able to afford to go out and buy the ammo. These Friday night ammo for this weekly ammo hauls. Hold on, I'm going to do something here real quick. There we go. I think that might help with the funky lighting situation that we had going on there. All right, so without any further ado, let's unbox this package. That came from Boxwood Ammo, not Boxwood Ammo. This is Shure-Shot Shooting Supply sent this to me. They are the main distributor for Boxwood ammunition. So if you want Boxwood ammunition, Shure-Shot Shooting Supply is the people to go to, as far as I know. There are other retail outlets that carry this ammunition, but if you go to their website at Shure-Shot Shooting Supply, you can pick all of this ammo up, what they have in stock. They do pretty good about staying in stock with their supplies, but just like everybody else, you do find shortages every once in a while. They are on our announcement of this endeavor between Shure-Shot Shooting Supply and Therapyrange. They provided me with 100 rounds of 124 grain ball 9mm. We shot a video with that ammunition using the Glock 19 mounted in an MCK conversion. That was a lot of fun to shoot that video. You want to go back and watch it? It was like 4 or 5 days ago in my uploads. You're welcome to go back and if I can remember it, I'll throw a link to it in this video in the description. While we're talking about descriptions, make sure. Comments probably. Oh, and you told me that if I did this, I can put you in timeout. There, we're going to make you a mod, Matt. There you go. Matt, kiss my ass, socialist. There you go. You can help me out. And if you don't mind, maybe grab a link every now and then and throw it out for him if you can do that. SureShotShootingSupply.com. Just like PatriotShitOutfitters.com. Maybe, I mean, I've never really thought about blowing up a toy semi truck. It kind of seems counterproductive to saying that you support it. We're gonna blow you up, blow you up. Can I say that? Oh, I found out that I can't show pews on the live streams. I guess in the community terms of service. Now, don't know. Nobody reported me. I just got to being curious about the firearms policy here on YouTube because I never actually took the time to read it. I still haven't thoroughly read it, but I have skimmed through it. And apparently, on live streams, you cannot show anyone handling or discussing firearms on live streams. So, sure, okay, whatever. Oh, okay. I opened it up wrong. They tried to fall out on me. So here we go. Oh, get back in there, bullets. So looks like we got 200 rounds. The muzzle velocity, 2,900 feet per second. We got some bullet drop on here. Bullet drop information at 100 yards, it's plus 2 inches. 200 yards, 0 inches. 300 yards, 9.3. All the way out to 500 yards with a 62.9 inch drop at 500 yards. Holy shit, that's a lot of drop. But I guess that's what it is. 223 Remington, 55 grain ball ammo, 100 count per box. Here, as soon as the snowpocalypse is over, I'm gonna get out and shoot some of these bad boys. So yeah, I mean, looks good to me. Now the proof will be in the pudding. Now we'll get out here and we'll sling some lead with these bad boys and warm up one of the ARs. I don't shoot the ARs very often because it's so expensive to feed them, but with a couple hundred rounds to work with, big shout out to Shure-Shot Shooting Supply for making that happen. Thank you there, Matt. Appreciate that. It is what it is. Well, and to be quite honest with you, I can't really, safe gun handling on Therapyrange is going to be subjective because there's a lot of people out there in the world that think the way that I handle firearms and the things that I do with firearms here on Therapyrange is immature, unsafe, gives the left ammunition to attack the Second Amendment with, and to especially to those cats, I mean, if me using my firearms in a way that entertains me and brings joy to me and causes no harm to no one else is a weapon to be used against my Second Amendment, Moulin Loubet, send bachelors. That's just how I feel about that. All right, so we got that and we got that. So into the ammo that we got this week, I ended up picking up 10 boxes of the Nitro Turkey Loads. These are 12 gauge, 2 3/4, 1,260 feet per second, 1 1/2 ounce shot size number 5. And we got a whole case of these, 10 boxes. These are hard to come by during hunting season. It'll be nice to not be stressed about whether I have enough of those in stock or not. The next thing we found these, ended up picking up a whole case of Federal 12 gauge. These are the double-aught buck. These are 2 3/4 inch, 1,325 feet per second with a maximum buckshot of 9 pellets. 5-round boxes. I ended up picking up a whole case of these for that's another 10 boxes of these at these were $8 a box plus tax. These were $10 a box plus tax. And then the Dogwood, these were part of a sponsorship deal. I'm going to shoot a video and we're going to do something fun with these to help promote not just Dogwood ammo, Dogwood Shooting Supply, but we're also going to be promoting Shure-Shot Shooting Supply because they're just good people. All right. It's not really about whether they're making superior ammunition as long as it performs equal to or greater than. It's all that really matters. I'm not, we can't have subpar ammunition. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not done yet. I got one more thing to show. I got one more thing to show. But before I show that one more thing, I wanted to let everybody know that the Sharpie tactical defense pins are back in stock. Look at the point on that bad boy. And these are a great everyday carry item. It looks just like a regular Sharpie. For all intensive purposes, it is a Sharpie until you pull it out of the package. And then you can scratch all on metal. You can punch out glass, among other things. There's other things that you could do, but we're not going to talk about those other things because we don't want to be accused of promoting violence, because violence is a bad thing unless, we're going to war when the government that we don't trust tells us to go to war, because now all of a sudden we trust them, and the media that are lying dog-faced pony soldiers are now all of a sudden saints that never do nothing but tell the truth and provide us good, accurate information about the ongoing conflict in the country of Ukraine. Oh, I feel like I'm going to throw up in my mouth a little bit. Oh, God. What a bucket of shit. Wow. Wow. Shout out to the brothers and sisters up in Michigan that are defending their freedom against tyranny in a court of law. The people that were charged. I like labs much. Yeah, I don't care what the media has to say. If the media says that it's bad, then it's good, and if it's good, then it's bad. I don't believe anything they have to say, so I withdraw myself from any of that. I don't want to make decisions, cast judgment, pass ideas, or anything that could be construed as fake news. My opinions are my opinions alone and only reflect how I personally feel about things. So anybody that doesn't like that, it is what it is. So I'm hashtag sorry, not sorry. No, I have a lot of empathy for the people of Ukraine, the citizens, the women and the children, the elderly, the sick. I have a lot of empathy in my heart for them, but I know, we're kind of skipping ahead a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. It's Well, Matt, you need to go back and watch the rest of my videos. Thank you for getting me back on track. I appreciate that. But you got to go back and watch some of the earlier videos. Some of the first videos I did back in June of 2021 was exactly what you're talking about. I loaded them into 16 gauge shotguns and shot them through 2 liters and shot them through 2x6s. And yeah. Yeah, I even had one that was made out of carbon fiber that exploded inside of a 2 liter, and when the carbon fiber came apart, it looked like little bitty pieces of ribbon paper. It was a really neat experience. I don't know how people feel about the quality of the video. It was one of the earlier videos when I was just getting started, learning how to set up the cameras and basic editing 101. Those were videos that I just was crash coursing it in. Not that I'm still not crash coursing. Hey, what's up, James? Not that I'm still not crash coursing in editing and videography, but I've gotten a lot better since those videos. I might revisit them, but you should go check some of them out. You just got to scroll down in the uploads for a little while and get down towards the end, and you'll see that we actually have done, I think, at least 2 videos on shooting Sharpies out of guns. Definitely, for sure. All right, the last piece of ammunition that we got, I ended up picking up some of these bad mamma jammas. Yeah, boy. I'm sorry, this is just my cell phone. I don't have anything else to go live on. But that, man, if that was in 12 gauge, I would say that might be more violent than the Fury slugs. I have no data on this shell at all, other than it is an 8-gauge shotgun shell. It is number 09 buck lead. No, it's double aught buck lead, low velocity. But there's a whole lot of pellets in there. I mean, there's just a whole lot of FU in that. Why would you need something like that? Remember how I told you I can't show firearms on live feeds? The sad thing is I don't know if this actually would qualify as a firearm. Under ATF guideline regulations, I don't really know if this thing qualifies as a firearm. I don't know. Right? Right? Never been a fan of the flechette rounds. I mean, unless you're at point blank range, you're going to have a hard time getting good solid hits. So I looked at the analytics the other day, and we had made some progress on some subscribers, but we're still in the 79% of the people watching Therapyrange haven't subscribed yet. So if you want to help the channel and you don't want to spend any money, that would be an awesome way to do it. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell, share it, tell your friends about the fuckery that takes place on Therapyrange. Most of the videos are not me sitting here talking. This is not really what I care to do, but we're trying to build up a Friday night, Saturday morning video. There's a short that I made yesterday in the shorts section of my channel where we did shoot it yesterday, but it's not an 8-gauge shotgun. It's an 8-gauge cannon. Yeah. I wish I could show it to you guys, man. I don't even know what to do about the other videos that I made. Should I go back and just delete them? Should I download them and then re-upload them as regular videos? Or should I just not worry about it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't want the peckerheads at YouTube coming and kicking me off every time I turn around. So I guess I probably just got to delete those 3 videos. The last 3 ammo hauls all had me handling firearms in them. It was brief, but and it was safe, but it was still, according to the words that they chose to work with, it was in fact not okay. Nice. I just got rid of one that does that. My moderator loaned me a JTS AK-12. That was a whole lot of fun. I'm going to try to get out and make one more video with that before it goes back home, because that is a whole lot of fun. And then I had one by Toros Capella, a Toros Capella 12. That's the Turkish model of an AR-15 12-gauge. That was a good, I mean, it shot good. It just kept shaking itself apart. Right? You know what I'm saying? So I guess I got to go ahead and just can those. No, I didn't have that one. No, this was a Toros Capella 12 gauge. It was built like an AR-15, and then I had a what is it? A Rock Island Arms VPRA 40, the pump action magazine fed shotgun. I actually just got rid of the Capella and the Rock Island Arms shotguns. Not that I needed the money or anything. I was just I'm kind of in a position to where I'm really starting to hurt for space. Since I started making the YouTube videos, the firearms collection is starting not so much financially to become a burden, but just space. I mean, it's kind of getting out of control. I mean, as crazy as that sounds, I mean, how many guns are too many guns? Your average Joe would say there's no such thing. There actually is such a thing as too many guns. When you start running out of wall space to lean them up against, when you got pistols stacked on top of pistols, you've got totes of. I think you get where I'm going with this. It's starting to become a problem. Finding what I need, right? It's starting to get to the point to where finding the things that I need is becoming a challenge. Remembering where you've put stuff because you've got to stuff in every place now. I mean, it's getting out of control. So I went ahead and parted with a couple. I'm going to part with a couple more. No, they're not for sale to the public. I'm taking them to the local gun shop and exchanging them for in-store credit to be able to pick up other things that will be fun and exciting for in the future. I'm not even collecting any cash on them. I'm just taking them up. The FFL, the federal firearms vendor, is taking possession of them, logging them into his books, and the only way you can purchase those is to go to his shop and do a federal firearms background check and have proper ID and all that good bullshit. Regulations. Trying to be a law-abiding citizen. Trying my best to do it the right way. I'm not trying to be the guy that causes the problems. Even though people might say that when they watch my videos, because there's a little bit of fuckery goes on. But it's my videos, and if you don't like it, you can change the channel. I don't mean to be rude about it. That's not the intent, but it is really that simple. I mean, I make the content for myself and ultimately for the generations of kids that I'm never going to get to meet. When it comes to the channel, though, I need to do what I need to do to keep things popping for the channel. So and I like guns. I do. I like guns. I like having lots of guns around. It feels good. I enjoy it. I like walking in and there being an abundance of firearms in the house. It makes me warm and fuzzy. But I also want to get new stuff and exciting stuff to be able to shoot videos on the range with, so you guys have stuff to ask me questions about during the live feeds. No, the problem is that I just need more space. That's all the problem is. And that's why you guys going and sharing the videos and sharing the information and helping me get closer to having the followers that I need to be able to drive my personal business and keep money moving, like Matt over at Demolition Ranch has done. I'm basically following the same model that he's following, only I had my patch business before I started YouTube video, and then he started YouTube video and then created his business off of that. And I have several ARs, sir. Several. I have no AKs though. I've got a 7.62 by 3.9 gun, but I don't have any AKs. Nothing against the AK. I just don't have any. I had one back in the day, back about 8 or 10 years ago. I used to have a Draco pistol, AK pistol. That was fun. But every time I took it out to the range, I kept getting the cops called on me for it sounded like full auto. People kept calling the cops saying I was shooting full auto guns. So like 3 times in a row that I went out and shot it, the cops showed up, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I just can't have that gun. Hell, I used to have a grenade launcher that would mount onto the bottom of an AR-15 or anything with a rail on it for that matter. Now, I ended up having to get rid of that because my kid kept talking to people at school about it, and I was worried that the fucking cops were going to show up breaking my door down because they thought I had the illegal version of it when I had the civilian version of it. One of them's a 37 millimeter, one of them's a 40. I can't recall which is which one's allowed to be for civilians, but I know civilians are allowed to have one, and then the other one's police and military only. And I had the one that was for civilians, but because my kid was an airhead and I just simply didn't want the cops storming into my house over something that I was allowed to have, I just went ahead and got rid of it and moved on. Did I mention to check out the Freeman Report? Go check those guys out, man, and give their channel a sub. let their videos play in the background. You know, that's something that you can do not just for Therapy Range, but for any YouTuber that you support, anyone that creates content on these kind of platforms, not just YouTube, but any other platform as well. You can totally just hit play all on their playlist and mute it and go to bed and give them those play hours. You know, because in this world, even once you're monetized, it takes so much engagement from the audience to create even a penny that, you know, hitting that play all button and giving them a couple of hours of playtime every night, a different content creator every night, man, that's going to add up. You get a couple hundred people doing that, and that'll really, they'll definitely see a change in their analytics and see movement forward. You know, because like I said, if I didn't have patriotshit.com, if I didn't have the support of even the few people that I do have that follow and watch, I couldn't do the shit that I'm doing. I couldn't go out and buy a JTS 12 gauge. I don't have the disposable income sitting around to just go out and buy new guns every week. I mean, it may appear as though I do, but I'm also a wheeler dealer hustling SOB. You know, people owe me favors, I owe them favors. There's good people around me. When I figured out to stop surrounding myself with trash and started surrounding myself with legitimately good people, good things started happening to me. So I've been blessed with being surrounded by a lot of really good people that have opened up their hearts and said, hey, dude, if this is what you really think you want to do, I support you. Here, take my gun and go make a video. Here, take my cannon and go make a video. Here, take my ammunition and go make a video. That shit makes me weak inside, man. It's so cool to know that I've been surrounded by such great people. Now, and like we were saying earlier, okay, I'm ready to talk about the Russia thing now. Hell yeah. I'm out of Georgetown, Ohio. I'm an Ohio boy. If you don't know geography, that is in southern Ohio, down by the river, down by the river. Yeah, that's a sexy ass voice. Turns my cell phone. I shot this cannon though. This cannon's fun. There's a YouTube short that I made with the cannon and a jug of blue Kool-Aid, or not Kool-Aid. It was just blue water. It was water with food coloring in it. Blue Kool-Aid. Where in the hell did that come from? That's wild. Look at the firing pin in this thing. Ain't that some shit? Look at that. That's the rear cap. Spring loaded right there. There's a hole in there to there it is to put your pin in. Yeah. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to make some more videos. I got a few more pieces of ammunition to shoot with this, and then there is more available. I think the guy that gave this to me was kind of playing me to... That's not the right word. I think the guy that gave it to me was just trying to sell some more of his 8 gauge. Yes, Matt. That right there is what goes in it. Well, that's what I have to put in it. You could put anything else in it. I'd love to show you guys. And when we shoot an actual video, I can show you all about this. But right now, because of the YouTube's firearms policy and their live streaming policy, I can't actually show you and I don't even know if that qualifies as a firearm. I mean, I think it does. And probably. It's not a black powder weapon. You know, I mean, and it shoots a modern cartridge. Well, of course you want one. Who doesn't want a freaking cannon? I'm not going to show it right now. I'm going to show that in another video. It just burns my ass that I can't show it to you in a live stream. I can show it to you in a regular video, but because it's a live stream, I can't necessarily show it. Oh, I absolutely will. I've got this on loan for, as long as I want to have it. It belongs to somebody that's not very far away from me, and I see them almost every day. So they're not pressed. Whenever they want it back, they say, "Hey man, I need my Canon back?" Okay, there you go, not a problem. So this might be around for a little while. Who's to say? You know, he might want it back here in a couple of weeks, a week or two. I don't know. But in the meantime, I got these. I've got one of those. Hold on, I got one of those. Yeah, I picked up one of those at the Knob Creek machine gun shoot with the intention of doing a video on it, but I've just never got around to it yet. So with that, you just slide it, you pull your pin back, run your a Carter key through there, slide your shotgun shell in there. Somebody pulls the tripwire, the pin comes out, the hammer goes down, the striker goes down, fires off the shotgun shell. I have used this one time, but I didn't video it. Just wanted to do some tests on it to see how well it worked. And the one use that I had, it comes pre-drilled with a couple of holes in it and a couple of nails. Okay, and I used the nails. I nailed it into position and loaded it, got it all set up and pulled the string, and the impact from the shell driving this back bent the nails. So the nails, I mean, it's literally a one and done thing. I mean, this can be used multiple times, but it would have to be reset. Every time you used it, you would have to go back with fresh nails or a hammer or something, a way to straighten those nails out and remount it, because each time it gets used, it wouldn't work for a second time. The second time it went off, it would blow it off the tree if the first one doesn't take it off. But that's something that we plan on making some video, at least one video with this summer. That was the whole purpose in buying it. I mean, there's really no purpose for having something like that unless you had a metal shop and a welding machine and you was really interested in doing something bad. Yeah, I think this one, I think I paid like 30 or 35 bucks for it. I mean, they're way overpriced for what they are. Again, it's just not really that practical. Well, it didn't used to be that practical. You know, with the way the world's going today, I don't know, it might be a little more practical than it once was. Who am I to judge? I don't care. If you want it, buy it, have it, enjoy it, live your life to the fullest. Anything less is an injustice to yourself and every single person around you. I'm going to say that again later in the video. Yeah, you know, I mean, and it's not very heavy. You know, it's a couple ounces. You could throw this in your pack in the little baggie that it comes in. You can actually see in the bottom of the baggie, maybe, there's 2 nails in there and a pen that you can rig a string up to, and it'll fit the trigger on the device and set off your shell. But what you got to keep in mind is that because there's no barrel on this, it's not considered a firearm, but also because there's no barrel on this, well, and that's what you might scare them off, but because there's no barrel on this, when the shell goes off, it's just going to explode. There's not going to be, I mean, it'd be like throwing it in the fire and it cooking off. You know, because it's going to blast in 360 degrees instead of just straight down a muzzle. It's going to have almost no power behind it at all. And it's, you know, I mean, maybe if the critter was super close, you might burn it. You know, you might pepper it or something, but really it's just more for making a loud bang to make sure that whoever is on watch can get everybody else up. They also make an adapter for this that will slide down into where the shotgun shell fits, that will allow you to load it with 22 blanks. Right? Oh, 360. It's 180. Whatever. I'm not arguing semantics. But they make a sleeve that'll slide down in there that'll let you load 22 shorts in it, or 22 blanks in it. Interesting. All right. So we're getting close to 2,500 subs. For anybody that's been listening or paying attention, I guess the few people that are on here are the only ones that have been listening and paying attention. Thank you. Thank you for sticking around. 2,500 subs, we do the complete gun collection. The complete gun collection will probably be quite a long video. While I don't have as many guns as some other YouTube firearm creators, I got quite a few. As we were talking about, there's a couple. There's a couple. But it's who I am. It's what I do. Now, I see all these people on the internet now, on Facebook and Gab and Twitter and MeWe, this rip that is being created. Let me get a drink. I'm getting dry. Because I'm going to wrap it up on this. This is where we're going to be here soon. Bear with me. All right, so this rip that's being created right now, pro-Ukraine, sympathizing people for Russia. I'm going to have to go back and read some of these. They're disappearing before I can get them all read. I'm torn by what I see on the media, because the media lies to me about every single thing they ever say. They do. We've all seen it. If you're watching a channel like mine, you already know it. And if you don't know it, you feel it. You're just trying to figure out how to know it. All right, this media is trash. This government is trash. And it's not just because of Biden. The government's trash, period. It's went on for far too long. Our parents sat idle at the wheel. We have sat idle at the wheel. We've basically thrown our hands up in the air and said, Jesus, take the wheel. And we're letting the government run us off of a cliff. We have Americans right now on trial in Michigan for a plot to kidnap a sitting U.S. governor and hold her for treason and try her and possibly, carry out a sentence. They're on trial because they believe in America. They're on trial because they were willing to do what so many others would only sit around and talk about doing. Everyone's worried about what's going on in Russia. You need to get your head out your ass and start worrying about what's going on right here. If they convict those guys up there in Michigan, they will have de facto made it illegal to be a part of a militia. They will have de facto made it illegal to group together to train in military styles, because it'll be deemed as gang affiliation and terroristic activities. That's some of the charges that these guys are facing up there. While you're distracted with what's going on in the Ukraine, worried about all the bullshit that the media is telling you. Oh, they bombed a hospital. Okay, well, was the Ukrainian government hiding freaking military assets in the hospital? What happens when we bomb a hospital? What happens when America bombs an apartment building to kill one jihadist and takes out 7 or 8 families at the same time? Is that what's going on? And you're just twisting the narrative into what you want it to be, to pull on the heartstrings of the gullible Americans and continue to keep feeding them propaganda day after day after day? Is it so hard to believe that the people of the Ukraine are subjected to the same types of propaganda, if not worse, than what Americans and Canadians and everyone else in the world is subjected to by the mainstream media and the world cabal? Is it really that hard to believe that these people that are fighting the Russians in Ukraine are just brainwashed idiots, useful fodder that's willing to do the bidding of the government that has corrupted and poisoned their minds for several generations? I don't think that's hard to believe at all. With everything that I've been seeing and hearing over the last 10 to 20 years with our government and our media and the way that our foreign affairs and foreign policies affect the world and the job that our people ambassadors and things do in other countries to try to bring the world together, it really sucks that you have to be called a Russian sympathizer when I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Does it look like we're on the wrong side again? Are the people making the choices for us putting us on the wrong side of history once again? And using the media to cover it up? I mean, think about this for a second. If American patriots were to try to take and overthrow the American government, do you not think that there would be Americans that would take up arms against you that are so heavily brainwashed with the propaganda that they've been poisoned with for the last 30 plus years, that they wouldn't take up arms against you, believing that you're right-wing, radical, racist, white nationalist, Islamophobic, homophobic, anti-science pieces of shit? You don't think that there would be nobody take up arms against you? That nobody would shoot you in the back? That none of these pussy ass liberals that still own a gun would shoot you in the fucking back? There you go, Matt. I mean, I don't know. And I'll be the first one to admit, I don't know what's going on. But I know my gut's telling me it's not what I'm being told that it is. At 47 years old, I've been lied to enough to know when I'm being bullshitted. I feel like I'm a good enough bullshit artist to know when I'm being bullshitted. It's just lies and lies and lies and more lies and the never-ending lies. Geez, please stop with the lies and just treat us like the grown-ass adults that we are, and make these people that can't handle the truth learn to start handling the truth. You can't bubble wrap the whole world forever. You're running us into a fucking war, liberals, leftists, Democrats, whatever you want to call yourself, LGBTQYZ, LMNOPs. Your bullshit's running us off a cliff. I mean, yeah, conservatives might be farting, ball scratching, gun shooting, animal killing, steak eating, barbecuing, big truck driving, burnout, wasting fuel motherfuckers. But we don't run the bitch off the cliff. When Republicans, conservatives are in charge, the world isn't in danger of being ran off the cliff. I've been with enough Republican conservative presidents. Even the fake ass George W. Bush didn't try to run us off a cliff. Something's not right with all this shit. It feels like they're stealing our wealth. It feels like this corona. It feels like this war. It feels like all this media corruption and twisted and all this fuckery is nothing more than to steal our wealth away from us. What little bit of wealth that you have, what little bit of stuff, liberties and freedoms that you've been able to take advantage of with the amount of income that you've had to work with in your lifetime. It feels like they're trying to steal that from us, whether it be through taxes, whether it be through gas prices, whether it be through big pharma extorting the wealth out of the elderly to ensure that nobody ever has a real inheritance again. Work your whole life to build up your inheritance just for big pharma to come in and wipe it all out and leave your kids with nothing. That's what it feels like's going on. Well, I mean, the only reason the dollar even works still is because people still accept it. I mean, that's literally it. The only thing that makes that currency have any value is that the retail outlets will still accept it as valuable currency. I mean, it's a myth. It's a fiat currency. It hasn't been worth anything. I mean, it's just a piece of paper. It has no value. There's nothing backing it. There hasn't been anything backing it in decades. How could it have any value? It's based on faith. Our whole currency is based on faith, in good faith. Well, you know, everybody's worried about World War III breaking out and all the big three, the big four, the big five getting into an all out on the ground, shoot 'em up cowboy special, some World War II looking shit. It doesn't have to happen that way. It's, do you realize? All right, think about this for a second. Wrap your noodle around this for a second. Russia's cut off. They have no allies left except for one. They got one. China, opening up their banks to them, opening up their loan lending program to them, going to work with them. You realize what would happen if Russia, China, and India were to get together with all their billions and billions of people and say, we no use dollar no more. We no use dollar no more. No more dollar. You, America, you go fuck off. We don't need your dollar no more. We buy oil in new currency. You fuck off. Reagan. I miss Reagan. That was a good president. You know, I mean, and you got Vlad over here, man. I mean, let's do you really think Vladimir Putin's insane? Do you really think that just one day he woke up and his cheese just slid right off the fucking cracker and said, "Oh well, you know what? Let's start World War III today. We'll start in Ukraine. We take Ukraine, and if America says anything, they can suck my dick." You really think that's what happened? There's got to be more to this than I just want to expand territory. I don't want them to be part of NATO. He really doesn't want them to be part of NATO. But that's not even the biggest problem, because even if Ukraine stays out of NATO, there's still all the Baltic states around the borders of Russia that are NATO states that do have American-funded artillery and anti-aircraft batteries and long-range missile defense systems all along the border pushing up against Russia. That's why Russia doesn't want Ukraine to be part of the freaking NATO, is that they know that if NATO becomes part of the freaking Ukraine, they move all that freaking shit into Russia or into the Ukraine, right on the rest of Russia's border. And Putin don't like. I don't like it. He does not like it. I don't know if it's being a sympathizer or not. I don't sympathize with Russia. I don't sympathize with Ukraine. I have empathy for the women and children that are losing loved ones and that are being displaced. I have empathy for them. It sucks. It sucks that the people that run your government are going to fucking kill you. It sucks. It's not right. I don't give a shit which side of this fucking story is right, wrong, or indifferent. The only people that matter are the ones that are being killed off, blown up, chewed into pieces, and they don't have not a fuck all to do with any of it. Not a fuck all do they have to do with any of it. That dude, that little old dude driving his fucking car down the fucking road, and a Russian ran over his car with a tank. Are you... No, we didn't let Russia put missiles in Cuba. And that's why I understand why Putin doesn't want Ukraine to be a part of the NATO. Because he doesn't want more missiles pointed at his back door. I get it. I get it. I wouldn't want that either. I wouldn't want that either. I would want as few missiles pointed at me as possible. No, they always try to make Russia out to be the big bad boogeyman. Big bad boogeyman. I think a lot of that's self-inflicted upon ourselves by being dicks, by our government, not us. We don't have nothing to do with that. We don't want nothing to do with any of that. Or but our government that wants to have leverage and power over every single aspect of every single person's life on the fucking planet. It ain't just our lives they want to have control over. They want the control over everybody's lives. Everybody's lives. They want everybody to be under their thumb. They want everybody to suffer. And unless you do their bidding and give them what they want and provide a usefulness, you will live the way they tell you to live. You know, that's what we're going towards now. You know, BlackRock is buying up property like crazy. As much property as they can get their hands for, paying up astronomical amounts of money for it. Knowing that the people that buy it aren't going to invest that money. They're not going to use that money well. And even if they did, they're going to destroy any kind of investment that you could put it in. You know, I mean, I'm a prime example of it. You know, when I got some COVID money, I went and put it in some investments. For the first time in my life, I was sitting in a position where I had money to spare. This is new. I love this. This is great. Oh, yay. Let's make some investments. Let's spend this money intelligently. Let's create some opportunities to where that money can come back to me again in a larger form. We bought inventory. We bought this building that I'm in, and I invested some money in the stock market. That was a mistake. That's a mistake. Every day I open up my phone and look at my stocks, and every day I'm down another 50 or $100, $75. I'm watching my stock portfolio drop like fucking my bank account. I mean, it's insane. They're stealing my money from me. They're stealing it at the grocery store. They're stealing it at the pump. They're stealing it every single place that I look, and Russia, Ukraine is what's important. You know, we just completely quit talking about what's going on down at the southern border. That's not been in the news cycle now for probably 2 months. That's over with. No more southern border crisis. No, it's still going on. It's still happening. This shit's still going on down there. Don't be bullshitted. But the media is not talking about it, so it doesn't matter. Out of sight, out of mind. Just like COVID, out of sight, out of mind. The media quit talking about it, out of sight, out of mind. It's all over. No more. All done. Well, I mean, aren't we basically NATO, though? I mean, without America, there is really no NATO. You know, I mean, and NATO's kind of like the Union, though. When NATO was created, it had a righteous purpose. When NATO was first put together, it was to help ensure that nobody ever had to deal with what Ukraine's going through now. If one country rises up and tries to buck up against NATO, NATO comes in and squashes it. It's supposed to be a great deterrent. Geopolitical politics has played its hand in this situation, and they never became part of NATO. I don't know what the answer to this is. As far as the Russian conflict goes, I don't know. You know, I mean, even if America was the promise, even if NATO was the promise to not put missiles in Ukraine, let them join, they're just lying. They're just lying, just like they did in the other Baltic states when they joined NATO. Oh, no. I don't want missiles in these countries. They're too close. They blow my shit up. They're pointed right in my backyard in my house. I don't want them there. Okay. We won't put the missiles there. Bye. Yeah, put the missiles there. Everybody relies on Uncle Sugar Daddy too much. But it is what it is, guys. All right, that's all I got for you on this week's ammo haul. I'm calling it a night. I'm going to go in, play on the computer, smack the old lady on the... Live your lives to the fullest, guys, because anything less is an injustice to yourself and every single person around you. That freedom, man. I hope I hope you appreciate it, and I hope you're taking advantage of it in every way you possibly can, because I got a bad feeling shit's gonna get weird around here. It's gonna get weird around here. A lot worse than before it gets better. That's awesome, Matt. Thank you for throwing up a link to the Freeman report. Those guys Dietz can articulate way better than I can. He's a way better speaker than I can ever be. And he actually is one of my inspirations that makes me do talking videos like this. Otherwise, if it wasn't for a guy like him, I might not even be willing to do videos where we just sit down and spend an hour talking. And it has been 55, almost 56 minutes. So, with that said, stay free, America.